Welcome to Stoic Mastery. Today we will explore the fascinating art of understanding people on a deeper level through the timeless wisdom of Stoicism. Imagine if you could walk into a room and instantly read the thoughts, emotions, and motivations of those around you. While we may not have supernatural powers, the Stoics taught us something just as powerful: how to observe and understand human nature with profound clarity. The Stoics were masters of perception. They believed that by sharpening our awareness, we could see the world and the people in it more truthfully. Through careful observation, empathy, and introspection, we can learn to pick up on the subtle cues and patterns that reveal the inner lives of others. In this video, you will learn how to easily read people's minds with 15 Stoic lessons, not by magic, but by cultivating a deeper understanding of human behavior. Whether you're in a business meeting, a social gathering, or just spending time with friends, these Stoic strategies can enhance your ability to connect, communicate, and empathize. The Stoics knew that true insight into others begins with self-mastery. By learning to silence your inner noise and observe without judgment, you can see others for who they truly are and understand what drives them. Through these 15 lessons, you'll discover how to listen deeply, notice unspoken signals, and interpret people's actions with a Stoic lens. The result? A powerful ability to read people in ways that go beyond words. Let's start the journey to sharpen your mind, enhance your awareness, and gain a Stoic's insight into the minds of others. Lesson 1. Pay attention to body language. In any interaction, people are constantly communicating, often without saying a word. Stoicism teaches us to observe and understand these subtle signals, which are frequently expressed through body language. While we might focus on what people say, the Stoics understood that actions, and even more so physical expressions, often reveal much more about a person's thoughts, feelings, and intentions. To truly understand someone, start by tuning in to their body language. Notice their posture, gestures, facial expressions, and eye movements. Are they open and relaxed, or closed off and tense? A person's posture can indicate their comfort level and openness. For example, if someone is leaning forward and maintaining eye contact, they're likely engaged and interested. Conversely, if they're crossing their arms, looking away, or positioning themselves at a distance, they may be feeling defensive, uncomfortable, or disinterested. Facial expressions can also be incredibly revealing. The Stoics emphasize the importance of awareness and presence, and this begins with careful observation. Notice micro-expressions, those fleeting facial expressions that reveal true emotions, even if only for a split second. A slight frown, a raised eyebrow, or a forced smile can give away feelings of doubt, surprise, or discomfort, even when someone's words convey something entirely different. By paying attention to these small details, you'll gain insight into their genuine emotions. Eye contact is another crucial element. The eyes are often referred to as the windows to the soul because they can convey a range of emotions without any words at all. In Stoicism, eye contact is a way to connect with another person, to be present and to understand. Notice if someone maintains steady eye contact, which generally indicates confidence and honesty, or if their eyes are shifting or avoiding yours, which can signal nervousness or even dishonesty. The Stoics believed in seeing things as they truly are, and by focusing on someone's eyes, you can often glimpse their unspoken truths. Finally, take note of gestures. Are their hand movements calm and controlled, or are they fidgeting and restless? Fidgeting can be a sign of nervousness or impatience, while controlled gestures often reflect a calm and composed state of mind. As you observe, try not to jump to conclusions. Instead, let each detail contribute to a fuller picture of the person's current state. In practicing this Stoic lesson, remember to stay present, observe without judgment, and remain open to understanding. With time, you'll develop an intuitive sense of what people are feeling and thinking, not by reading their minds in the literal sense, but by reading the language of their bodies. Lesson 2. Listen more than you speak. One of the core principles of Stoicism is the art of listening. The Stoics believed that true wisdom begins not with speaking, but with listening. Epictetus famously remarked, "We have 2 ears and 1 mouth so that we can listen twice as much as we speak." This statement is as relevant today as it was in ancient times. In a world filled with noise where everyone seems eager to share their opinions, listening has become a rare skill, and one that can give you profound insights into the minds of others. When we listen deeply, we're not just hearing words, we're tuning into the emotions, intentions, and underlying meanings that words often conceal. People will reveal much more than they intend when given the space to talk freely. To practice this lesson, start by making a conscious effort to listen fully during your conversations. Rather than waiting for your turn to speak or thinking about what you'll say next, focus entirely on what the other person is saying. This means maintaining eye contact, nodding occasionally to show understanding, and allowing brief moments of silence so the speaker feels encouraged to continue. Listening in this way not only provides insights into others, but also builds trust and rapport. When someone feels truly heard, they're more likely to open up and share even more. The Stoics understood that people crave connection and understanding, and one of the best ways to provide this is by being a good listener. Notice the tone, pace, and volume of their speech. Are they speaking quickly, as if anxious or rushed? Or are they speaking slowly, suggesting thoughtfulness or calm? Pay attention to their choice of words as well. Are they positive, negative, or neutral? Do they focus on the past, present, or future? These subtle clues can reveal a lot about a person's state of mind. Additionally, try to listen without judgment. The Stoics taught that to see the world clearly, we must let go of our biases and preconceptions. When you listen to someone, resist the urge to categorize, judge, or compare. Instead, practice empathy. Imagine what the world looks like from their perspective and try to understand the emotions behind their words. This practice not only deepens your understanding of others, but also strengthens your own character. Finally, recognize that listening is a powerful tool for personal growth. By spending less time talking and more time listening, you'll gain valuable insights, not just into others, but also into yourself. You'll start to notice patterns in people's thoughts and behaviors, allowing you to navigate social situations with greater awareness and compassion. So, the next time you're in a conversation, remember, listen twice as much as you speak, and you'll be on the path to a deeper Stoic understanding of others. Lesson 3. Watch for patterns. The Stoics believed in observing human behavior to understand its deeper meanings, and one of the most effective ways to do this is by looking for patterns. People often reveal their true selves not in isolated actions but in consistent behaviors over time. By recognizing these patterns, you can develop a more accurate understanding of who they are, what they value, and how they're likely to behave in the future. The first step is to notice how someone responds to various situations. For example, do they react with anger whenever things don't go their way? Are they consistently patient and calm under pressure? These recurring behaviors provide insights into their character. According to Stoicism, character is the core of a person, and it manifests repeatedly in similar ways. By observing and identifying these patterns, you can understand the principles and motivations that drive someone's actions. Pay attention to how they interact with others as well. Notice how they treat people in different positions. Do they show kindness and respect to everyone? Or are they only friendly when it benefits them? This can reveal a lot about their values and priorities. The Stoics emphasize the importance of treating others with dignity and respect, regardless of status, and by observing someone's consistent behavior toward others, you can gauge whether they hold similar values. Furthermore, consider their communication style. Do they tend to focus on the positive or the negative? Are they prone to exaggeration, or do they prefer honesty and directness? By noticing how they communicate over time, you can start to understand their worldview. The Stoics believed that understanding human nature involves seeing people as they are, not as we wish them to be. By accepting and observing these recurring traits, you can approach interactions with a more realistic and balanced perspective. Identifying patterns also means paying attention to the decisions they make. Do they frequently take risks, or are they more cautious and conservative? Are they dependable, or do they often make promises they fail to keep? These patterns provide insights into their priorities and how they approach life. Remember, the Stoics believe that our actions reflect our values, and by observing someone's repeated choices, you can gain a clearer picture of what matters most to them. Lastly, be mindful of how you respond to these patterns. The Stoics teach us to remain objective and avoid jumping to conclusions based on isolated incidents. Instead, cultivate patience and watch how these behaviors unfold over time. Avoid judgment and let the patterns speak for themselves. This will allow you to develop a more accurate, Stoic understanding of those around you. In doing so, you'll not only understand others better, but also cultivate a sense of calm and clarity in your interactions, seeing people as they truly are through the lens of their own repeated actions. Lesson 4. Recognize universal motivations. One of the key insights of Stoicism is that while people may appear vastly different on the surface, we are all driven by a set of universal motivations. The Stoics believed that understanding these shared human desires can help us empathize with others and see their actions in a clearer light. Recognizing these universal motivations allows us to move past superficial differences and connect with people on a deeper level. At the core, human beings are motivated by certain fundamental needs: the desire for happiness, security, respect, and love. These motivations shape our actions, often without us realizing it. By acknowledging these shared motivations, you can better understand why people behave the way they do. Instead of seeing someone's behavior as confusing or irrational, you can view it through the lens of these universal drives. Consider someone who constantly seeks approval from others. While their actions might seem needy or insecure, this behavior often stems from a basic human need for acceptance and validation. Rather than judging them for it, Stoicism teaches us to see this as an expression of a shared desire to feel valued. By recognizing this, you can approach the person with greater compassion and understanding. The desire for security is another powerful motivator. Many of us make decisions based on a need for physical or emotional safety. People may act defensively, avoid risks, or seek control over their environment because they fear the unknown or potential threats. When you observe these behaviors, remember that they are often rooted in a natural human desire for security. Understanding this can help you respond more patiently and empathetically, rather than feeling frustrated or perplexed by their actions. The Stoics also emphasize that the pursuit of happiness drives much of human behavior. While each person's definition of happiness may differ, the underlying motivation is the same. Some people chase wealth, others seek pleasure, and some devote themselves to personal growth or helping others. By recognizing that everyone is in some way pursuing what they believe will bring them happiness, you can see their actions in a more stoic, non-judgmental light. Finally, remember that these universal motivations often manifest in different ways depending on a person's background, experiences, and personality. The Stoics taught that by focusing on the fundamental motivations behind people's actions, we can better understand their choices, even when they differ from our own. This understanding allows us to approach others with empathy and a sense of shared humanity. In practicing this lesson, observe the motivations behind people's actions without making assumptions. The Stoics believe that empathy and understanding arise from seeing others as fellow travelers on the path of life, driven by the same basic needs and desires. By embracing this perspective, you can cultivate a deeper understanding of those around you and strengthen your connection with the world on a fundamental, human level. Lesson 5. Practice empathy without judgment. Empathy lies at the heart of Stoic philosophy. While the Stoics emphasized self-discipline and rationality, they also understood the importance of compassion and understanding toward others. Practicing empathy without judgment allows us to see people as they are, not as we wish them to be. This approach provides a foundation for better relationships, clearer perceptions, and a more harmonious life. To begin practicing empathy without judgment, start by recognizing that everyone you meet is dealing with challenges you may know nothing about. The Stoics taught that each person carries a unique set of struggles, fears, and hopes. By acknowledging this, you can approach others with a sense of openness and compassion. Rather than jumping to conclusions about their behavior, take a step back and try to imagine the circumstances that may have led them to act as they do. Empathy without judgment involves listening to people with an open mind. When someone expresses an opinion or shares an experience, resist the urge to immediately form an opinion or compare it to your own experiences. Instead, simply listen. By suspending judgment, you allow yourself to understand their perspective more fully. This doesn't mean you have to agree with them or adopt their point of view. It simply means that you're allowing space for their reality to exist alongside your own. The Stoics believe that judgments cloud our perception and lead to unnecessary emotional turmoil. When we judge others harshly, we often project our own insecurities, biases, or unresolved issues onto them. Practicing empathy helps to break this cycle, as it encourages us to see people more objectively. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "Whenever someone does wrong by you, remember that they are acting according to their own beliefs and desires. By understanding this, you can separate the person from their actions and respond with calmness and insight. When you practice empathy without judgment, you also cultivate greater inner peace. The Stoics taught that anger, resentment, and frustration arise when we impose our expectations on others. By choosing empathy instead, you allow others to be themselves and free yourself from the burden of holding unrealistic expectations. This shift in perspective not only strengthens your connections with others, but also promotes a sense of tranquility within yourself. To integrate this Stoic lesson into your daily life, approach each interaction with the intention of understanding rather than judging. Ask questions, listen carefully, and remind yourself that each person has a unique path. As you cultivate empathy, you'll discover a deeper connection to the people around you and a greater sense of inner balance. The Stoics believed that this kind of understanding enriches our lives, helping us to live harmoniously and wisely in a world filled with diverse perspectives and experiences. Lesson 6. Separate your biases. In Stoic philosophy, one of the essential practices for clear thinking and understanding is the ability to recognize and separate your biases. Biases, whether conscious or unconscious, color our perceptions and lead us to make assumptions about people and situations that may not reflect reality. To understand others accurately, the Stoics taught us to strip away these preconceived notions and observe with an open, objective mind. Biases can take many forms. They may be based on past experiences, personal preferences, cultural conditioning, or emotional responses. For instance, you might have a tendency to favor people who remind you of friends or family, or you might distrust those who display characteristics you associate with past negative experiences. While these reactions are natural, the Stoics believe that they often prevent us from seeing things as they truly are. By learning to recognize and separate these biases, we gain clarity and improve our ability to understand others. To begin, cultivate awareness of your own biases. When you meet someone new, pay attention to the immediate judgments you make. Are you forming opinions based on superficial traits like appearance, tone of voice, or even where they're from? Acknowledge these judgments without criticizing yourself. The goal is not to be free of biases, but to become aware of them so they don't control your perceptions. Marcus Aurelius encouraged self-reflection as a way to cultivate this awareness, urging us to examine our thoughts and reactions to understand the influences behind them. Once you recognize a bias, make an active effort to set it aside. Remind yourself that everyone has their own unique story, and that the judgments you bring into the interaction may distort your understanding. In practice, this means consciously approaching each person and situation as if you know nothing about them. Imagine yourself as an observer with a clean slate, open to whatever unfolds. This mindset aligns with the Stoic principle of ataraxia, or tranquility, as it frees you from the turmoil of unnecessary assumptions. Separating your biases also involves practicing empathy and humility. The Stoics understood that we all have limited perspectives, and that true wisdom lies in acknowledging this limitation. When you let go of the need to impose your views on others, you create space for genuine understanding and connection. Instead of forcing others into preconceived categories, you allow them to reveal themselves on their own terms. In your daily life, make it a habit to question your initial impressions and seek a fuller picture before drawing conclusions. Over time, you'll find that you're able to interact with others more openly and respond with greater calmness and insight. By practicing this Stoic lesson of separating your biases, you'll enhance your perception, improve your relationships, and cultivate a more objective, peaceful mind. Lesson 7. Read between the lines. The Stoics believe that true understanding often lies beyond what is explicitly stated. To read people effectively, it's essential to learn how to read between the lines, to perceive the emotions, thoughts, and intentions that words alone may not reveal. In daily interactions, people often communicate indirectly, whether intentionally or not. By tuning into these subtleties, you can gain a deeper insight into their state of mind, allowing you to respond more effectively and empathetically. To start reading between the lines, pay attention to nonverbal cues. Notice the tone of voice, pacing, and volume. For example, someone might say they're fine, but if their voice is strained or their tone lacks energy, it could suggest they're struggling or unhappy. Similarly, if someone is speaking quickly, they may be anxious or nervous. If they speak slowly and deliberately, It may indicate that they're processing something serious or sensitive. The Stoics teach us to be present and attentive in our observations. So by actively listening to how people speak, you're practicing a Stoic approach to understanding others. Another important aspect of reading between the lines is noticing what is left unsaid. People often avoid discussing certain topics or downplay their significance, especially when they feel vulnerable or uncertain. The Stoics encourage us to be sensitive to these gaps in communication. If a friend constantly shifts the topic when discussing their family, or hesitates when talking about work, it might indicate an underlying issue. By recognizing these subtle avoidance tactics, you can approach the person with compassion and offer support without prying. Additionally, observe the contrast between words and actions. The Stoics placed great value on consistency and integrity, noting that our actions often speak louder than our words. If someone frequently talks about valuing honesty but avoids direct answers or frequently makes excuses, there may be a disconnect between their stated values and their behavior. Noticing this incongruity can help you understand their true priorities and motivations. The Stoics also taught that we should avoid making assumptions or quick judgments based on surface-level information. Reading between the lines means cultivating patience and allowing others to reveal themselves over time. Instead of jumping to conclusions about someone's intentions or feelings, observe their behavior over multiple interactions. Consistent patterns in their communication, both verbal and nonverbal, can provide a clearer picture than any single conversation. Practicing this lesson requires a willingness to listen deeply and observe with an open mind. As you sharpen your ability to read between the lines, you'll not only gain greater insight into others, but also strengthen your capacity for empathy and understanding. In this way, the Stoic practice of reading between the lines becomes a tool for connection, allowing you to engage with people in a more authentic and meaningful way. Lesson 8. Ask open-ended questions. One of the most effective ways to understand others, as the Stoics might advise, is to ask open-ended questions. Unlike yes or no questions, open-ended questions encourage people to share more about their thoughts, feelings, and experiences. They create a space where people feel free to express themselves fully, often revealing insights they may not have shared otherwise. This approach not only deepens your understanding of others but also builds rapport and trust. Open-ended questions invite elaboration, allowing you to move beyond surface-level conversations. For example, instead of asking, "Did you like the meeting?" you might ask, "What did you think about the meeting?" This subtle shift encourages the other person to provide a more thoughtful and nuanced response. In a Stoic sense, asking questions in this way aligns with the philosophy's emphasis on listening, observing, and understanding without rushing to judgment. The Stoics valued curiosity and believed that wisdom comes from a genuine desire to understand others. When you ask open-ended questions, you signal that you're interested in the other person's perspective and willing to listen without imposing your own views. This aligns with the Stoic principle of seeing the world through the eyes of others. By giving people the opportunity to speak freely, you not only learn more about them, but also gain a clearer understanding of human nature in general. Asking open-ended questions also allows you to identify underlying motivations and emotions. For example, asking someone, "What do you enjoy most about your work?" can lead them to share their passions, goals, or even frustrations. It opens a pathway for them to discuss what drives them, what challenges they face, and what they value. These deeper insights are invaluable in understanding others, helping you respond with empathy and a Stoic detachment from assumptions. To incorporate this Stoic lesson into your daily life, approach conversations with the mindset of a learner. Remember that everyone you meet knows something you don't. Use open-ended questions to tap into that knowledge. For instance, questions like, "How do you feel about?" or "What are your thoughts on?" can draw out richer responses than more direct or closed questions. As the Stoics would advocate, listen carefully to the answers, observing not just the words but also the tone, body language, and emotional cues that accompany them. Finally, practice asking open-ended questions without an agenda. True Stoic inquiry comes from a place of curiosity and a desire to understand, not from a need to steer the conversation or lead someone toward a particular answer. When you create a space where people feel heard and valued, you build stronger connections, foster trust, and enhance your ability to see the world from multiple perspectives. Over time, you'll find that this approach helps you develop a deeper Stoic appreciation for the complexities of human experience, while also enriching your relationships. Lesson 9. Observe reactions to adversity. The Stoics believe that true character is often revealed in times of difficulty. When things are going smoothly, it's easy for people to appear calm, composed, and kind. But it's when adversity strikes that a person's true nature comes to light. Observing how someone responds to challenges, whether it's a minor inconvenience or a major setback, can provide profound insights into their values, resilience, and self-control. This lesson aligns with the Stoic emphasis on facing challenges with equanimity and viewing hardships as opportunities for growth. To start, pay attention to how someone reacts to small frustrations. For instance, how do they handle delays, unexpected changes, or mistakes? Do they remain patient, or do they react with anger or blame? These seemingly minor reactions can reveal underlying attitudes and habits. Marcus Aurelius emphasized the importance of maintaining a calm, steady demeanor in the face of irritations, as it reflects an inner strength and self-mastery. When you observe someone managing small adversities with grace, it often indicates a capacity for handling larger challenges in a similar way. Likewise, how someone responds to significant challenges can reveal their core beliefs and priorities. When faced with failure, do they learn from the experience, or do they become discouraged and give up? Stoicism teaches that setbacks are part of life and that our response to them shapes our character. A person who uses adversity as a learning experience demonstrates a stoic resilience, while someone who collapses under pressure may lack the tools to navigate life's inevitable difficulties. Also, observe how people treat others during challenging times. Do they become withdrawn, or do they reach out for support and show gratitude? The Stoics believed in the interconnectedness of humanity, and often reminded themselves that they are part of a larger community. Someone who helps others in times of trouble or seeks to maintain positive relationships despite their own struggles exemplifies Stoic virtues of kindness and compassion. On the other hand, those who become dismissive or hostile when facing difficulties may have a more self-centered outlook. Furthermore, notice whether they blame others or take responsibility for their actions. The Stoics taught the importance of owning one's responses to external events. A person who accepts accountability and focuses on solutions rather than assigning blame demonstrates maturity and self-discipline. Observing how someone deals with blame and responsibility provides insight into their sense of personal integrity and resilience. Finally, remember to practice non-judgmental observation. The Stoics taught that we should observe others to understand, not to criticize or feel superior. Everyone reacts to adversity differently, shaped by their unique experiences and inner struggles. By observing these responses with compassion and curiosity, you not only deepen your understanding of others but also strengthen your own Stoic mindset, learning valuable lessons from the resilience or weaknesses of those around you. Lesson 10. Be present in every interaction. One of the essential teachings of Stoicism is the importance of presence. To truly understand others, you need to be fully present in your interactions, giving your complete attention to the person before you. The Stoics believe that living in the present moment is key to a balanced and meaningful life. By practicing mindfulness in your conversations and interactions, you not only deepen your connections with others, but also cultivate a sense of calm and clarity within yourself. Being present means letting go of distractions, whether they're external or internal. In today's world, it's easy to become distracted by technology, to-do lists, or even our own thoughts. When you're engaged in a conversation, make a conscious effort to put these distractions aside. Turn off notifications, maintain eye contact, and focus solely on the person speaking. The Stoics taught that by immersing yourself in the present moment, you can more accurately perceive and understand what's happening around you, unclouded by unnecessary worries or interruptions. Presence also involves active listening. Instead of formulating your response while the other person is speaking, listen fully to what they're saying. Notice their tone, body language, and the emotions behind their words. This kind of deep listening allows you to connect on a more meaningful level, as it shows the other person that you value their thoughts and feelings. According to the Stoics, by focusing on others without judgment or impatience, we cultivate virtues like empathy, kindness, and understanding. Another aspect of presence is observing your own internal responses during interactions. The Stoics encouraged self-awareness as a means of maintaining control over one's thoughts and emotions. When you're present in a conversation, notice if you feel defensive, distracted, or judgmental, and gently guide yourself back to the moment. By recognizing these reactions without letting them control you, you can respond with greater calmness and clarity. Marcus Aurelius often wrote about the importance of maintaining equanimity, even in the face of potentially upsetting situations, as this helps you stay true to your values and intentions. Presence also means embracing silence when appropriate. Many of us feel compelled to fill every gap in conversation, but silence can actually be powerful. It allows others time to process their thoughts and open space for deeper reflections. The Stoics valued silence as a tool for introspection and understanding, and by allowing for it in conversations, you create an environment where both you and the other person can engage more authentically. Incorporating presence into every interaction takes practice, but the rewards are significant. You'll find that people are more open with you, and you'll gain a richer understanding of their perspectives and emotions. This lesson from Stoicism enhances your relationships and helps you navigate social interactions with a sense of mindfulness, compassion, and calm. Lesson 11. Practice silence. In Stoicism, silence is not merely the absence of words. It is a powerful tool for reflection, understanding, and connection. The Stoics valued silence because it fosters mindfulness, allows for deeper observation, and creates space for genuine insight. Practicing silence doesn't mean withholding communication, but rather being intentional about when to speak and when to listen. By embracing silence, you can enhance your ability to perceive others and strengthen your relationships. Silence allows you to listen more attentively. When you're not focused on formulating a response or eager to share your thoughts, you're free to fully absorb what the other person is saying. The Stoics believe that listening is essential to wisdom, and silence cultivates this skill. When you allow the other person to speak without interruption, you demonstrate respect and interest, encouraging them to share more deeply. Often, people reveal their thoughts and emotions gradually, filling the quiet moments with insights they might not have expressed otherwise. By being silent, you give them space to explore and articulate these ideas. Silence also fosters self-awareness. In the quiet moments of a conversation, you have a chance to observe your own reactions and thoughts. Are you feeling impatient, defensive, eager to jump in with your own story? The Stoics emphasize the importance of self-mastery and self-control. Practicing silence helps you notice these internal impulses and allows you to choose your responses more thoughtfully. By observing your reactions without acting on them immediately, you align yourself with the Stoic principle of responding with calm and reason rather than impulsively. Moreover, silence encourages others to fill the space with their own reflections. When you remain silent after someone has spoken, you give them a chance to continue, clarify, or expand on their thoughts. This often leads to more honest and vulnerable communication, as people feel they have the time and space to share without being rushed. In a Stoic sense, this deepens your understanding of others, as you're allowing them to reveal themselves in their own way and at their own pace. The Stoics also saw silence as a means of cultivating inner peace. Speaking constantly can lead to emotional agitation, especially when conversations become tense or heated. In these moments, silence is a refuge. By choosing not to engage immediately, you can maintain your composure and observe the situation with a clear mind. Marcus Aurelius advised, "It is better to conquer silence than to conquer the world." This reminds us that silence can be a form of strength, allowing us to approach situations with a level-headed and measured response. Practicing silence doesn't mean you should avoid speaking or sharing your thoughts. Instead, it's about being intentional with your words and valuing the quiet moments. By doing so, you create space for others to open up, gain greater control over your own responses, and cultivate a sense of peace in your interactions. The Stoics knew that in silence we find clarity, and through that clarity we achieve a deeper understanding of ourselves and others. Lesson 12. Reflect on your interactions. The Stoics emphasize the importance of self-reflection as a key practice for personal growth and understanding. Reflection allows you to look back on your interactions and learn from them, deepening your insights into both yourself and others. For the Stoics, this regular examination of one's thoughts, words, and actions was a cornerstone of living a virtuous life. By reflecting on your interactions, you can become more aware of patterns, improve your responses, and build stronger connections with others. To practice reflection effectively, start by reviewing each significant interaction at the end of your day. Consider how you felt during the conversation and whether you fully understood the other person. Were there moments when you felt impatient, defensive, or distracted? Did you respond thoughtfully? Or were there times when you spoke impulsively? The Stoics believed that understanding these responses is essential for self-mastery, as it helps you identify areas where you can improve. Reflection also involves examining your judgments and assumptions. Did you make assumptions about the other person's intentions or motivations? If so, were these assumptions accurate, or were they based on biases? The Stoics taught that by recognizing our biases, we can approach others with greater openness and objectivity. Marcus Aurelius encouraged this practice of self-examination, reminding us that by understanding our own minds, we can avoid unnecessary conflicts and misunderstandings. Reflecting on your interactions allows you to catch these patterns and adjust your mindset for future conversations. In addition, reflection helps you learn from both positive and negative interactions. If you had a meaningful and connected conversation, consider what made it so effective. Did you practice active listening? Did you ask open-ended questions? Identify the elements that contributed to the positive experience so you can incorporate them into future interactions. Conversely, if a conversation was tense or unproductive, think about what you could have done differently. The Stoics believed that all experiences, good or bad, offer valuable lessons. By reflecting on these experiences, you can turn challenges into opportunities for growth. Reflection also fosters a sense of gratitude and appreciation. As you review your interactions, consider the moments of kindness, understanding, or insight that others shared with you. The Stoics taught that gratitude is essential to a content and peaceful life. Reflecting on these moments helps you acknowledge the positive impact others have on your life and reinforces your desire to connect with people in meaningful ways. Ultimately, by incorporating reflection into your daily routine, you're following a Stoic path to self-improvement. This practice encourages you to approach each day with intention, mindfulness, and a commitment to growth. The Stoics knew that self-knowledge is the foundation of wisdom, and through reflection, you gain a clearer understanding of your own strengths and weaknesses. Over time, this habit will enable you to navigate interactions with greater patience, empathy, and insight, helping you build relationships that are grounded in respect and mutual understanding. Lesson 13. Focus on actions over words. The Stoics taught that actions reveal more about a person's character than words ever could. While words can be manipulated to convey a certain image or message, actions are often a more honest reflection of a person's true intentions, values, and priorities. Focusing on actions over words aligns with the Stoic pursuit of truth, as it allows you to see people for who they are, rather than who they may claim to be. In any interaction, pay attention to what someone does, rather than what they say. For example, if a person frequently talks about the importance of kindness, but is often rude or dismissive to others, their actions reveal a contradiction in their values. The Stoics believe that virtue is defined by consistent, honorable behavior, not by grand declarations. According to them, true character shines through in daily habits and choices, not through lofty speeches or promises. Similarly, focus on reliability and follow-through. Words can be cheap and promises easy to make, but commitment and consistency require real effort. If someone often makes promises but fails to keep them, they may lack the integrity or reliability you can depend on. Conversely, someone who follows through on commitments, even small ones, demonstrates trustworthiness and respect for others. Marcus Aurelius encouraged the practice of evaluating people's actions, as these actions reflect their inner values. By observing what people do, rather than simply accepting their words at face value, you can better understand their true priorities. The Stoics also emphasize that actions reveal a person's resilience and strength of character, particularly in challenging situations. Pay close attention to how someone behaves under pressure, not just how they speak about dealing with adversity. Many people can discuss ideals like courage or perseverance, but their real character becomes evident when they're actually tested. The Stoics believed that life's challenges provide opportunities for growth and self-discovery. Observing how others handle these moments can give you insight into their capacity for resilience and their commitment to the virtues they espouse. Finally, this Stoic focus on actions over words can help you cultivate a more discerning mindset. Instead of being swayed by persuasive rhetoric or charming personalities, learn to look deeper. People may try to impress or influence others with eloquent words, but actions often speak a language that's more truthful. When you prioritize actions, you develop a more accurate understanding of those around you and avoid being misled by superficial appearances. By focusing on actions over words, you also gain a valuable tool for personal reflection. The Stoics encourage this practice not only for understanding others, but also for holding oneself accountable. Just as you assess others by their actions, reflect on your own behavior and whether it aligns with the values you wish to embody. In doing so, you live a life that is consistent, authentic, and true to Stoic principles, fostering deeper connections based on mutual respect and trust. Lesson 14. Notice small acts of kindness. In Stoicism, kindness is viewed as a fundamental virtue, an expression of humanity's interconnectedness. The Stoics taught that, despite our individual pursuits, we are all part of a larger community. Observing small acts of kindness provides insight into a person's character and allows you to see their innate values. While grand gestures often draw attention, the Stoics believed that genuine kindness is often found in the quiet, everyday actions that reflect a person's true nature. To begin noticing these small acts, pay attention to how people treat those around them, especially in moments that seem insignificant. Do they show courtesy to strangers, offer a helping hand, or demonstrate patience in situations where others might not? These seemingly minor actions reflect a commitment to empathy and compassion, revealing a person's core principles. The Stoics saw kindness as an expression of virtue and viewed acts of generosity, however small, as a testament to one's character. Small acts of kindness can be as simple as holding the door open for someone, offering a sincere compliment, or taking the time to listen to others. While these actions might appear trivial, they often reflect an underlying commitment to respect and empathy. Marcus Aurelius wrote extensively about the importance of treating others with dignity, and he reminded himself daily to approach everyone with kindness, regardless of their behavior. By observing these acts in others, you can better understand their approach to life and their level of consideration for those around them. Moreover, noticing small acts of kindness fosters gratitude and strengthens your connections with others. When you recognize and appreciate these gestures, you become more aware of the positive impacts people make in your life. In turn, this awareness can inspire you to reciprocate with kindness, creating a cycle of compassion and goodwill. The Stoics believed that we have an ethical duty to contribute positively to the lives of others, and by recognizing kindness in others, you're reminded of this responsibility. This focus on kindness also encourages you to reflect on your own behavior. The Stoics taught that we should strive to embody the virtues we admire in others. When you observe someone acting kindly, ask yourself how you might incorporate similar actions into your own life. Small gestures not only uplift those around you, but also reinforce your own commitment to Stoic principles. They serve as daily practices of empathy, reminding you of your role within the broader human community. By observing and appreciating small acts of kindness, you cultivate a Stoic mindset rooted in gratitude and connection. This perspective helps you navigate interactions with a greater sense of empathy and awareness, recognizing that kindness is often the simplest yet most profound expression of virtue. Embrace these moments as reminders that each of us has the capacity to make a positive impact, even in the smallest of ways. Through this lens, you'll find that kindness becomes not just an action but a way of being, enriching your relationships and aligning you with the Stoic path of virtue and interconnectedness. Lesson 15. Cultivate inner stillness. The Stoics believed that inner stillness or tranquility is essential for gaining clarity and understanding both oneself and others. Inner stillness is not simply about being calm. It is about creating a space within yourself where external chaos and internal turmoil cannot disturb your peace. This cultivated stillness allows you to approach life with a clear mind and open heart, enabling you to observe others more perceptively and respond with greater wisdom. In Stoic philosophy, this state of inner tranquility is one of the highest achievements and a pathway to true insight. To cultivate inner stillness, begin by practicing mindfulness and self-awareness. The Stoics emphasized the importance of being present in the moment and avoiding distractions. By grounding yourself in the present, you reduce the impact of worries about the past or anxieties about the future. This presence allows you to observe what is happening around you and within you without judgment or reaction. In this state of mindfulness, you can notice your thoughts and emotions as they arise, recognizing them without allowing them to take control. Over time, this practice leads to a deeper sense of inner peace and resilience. Inner stillness also involves detachment from external circumstances. The Stoics taught that while we cannot control external events, we can control how we respond to them. This principle is essential for cultivating tranquility. When you detach from outcomes and release your attachment to things beyond your control, you free yourself from unnecessary suffering and frustration. By focusing on what you can control, your thoughts, actions, and responses, you create a steady foundation within yourself. In this place of stillness, you become less reactive to the actions of others and more capable of responding thoughtfully and compassionately. Furthermore, cultivating inner stillness enables you to engage with others from a place of calmness and empathy. When your mind is tranquil, you're better equipped to listen, observe, and understand. You're not distracted by your own concerns or emotional reactions, which allows you to focus fully on the person in front of you. This centered presence helps you pick up on subtle cues, understand unspoken emotions, and connect on a deeper level. In this way, inner stillness enhances your relationships and enables you to interact with others more meaningfully. To develop this state of stillness, incorporate daily practices such as meditation, deep breathing, and moments of solitude. The Stoics often reflected on the idea of silence and solitude as pathways to inner peace. Marcus Aurelius, for example, encouraged regular reflection and meditation, seeing these as essential practices for cultivating resilience and clarity. By spending time alone with your thoughts, you become more aware of your inner landscape and develop the ability to maintain calm in any situation. Ultimately, inner stillness is a cornerstone of Stoic wisdom. It provides a solid foundation for navigating life's challenges and fosters a sense of peace and understanding that benefits both yourself and those around you. When you cultivate this tranquility, you not only gain insight into your own nature, but also strengthen your ability to see others clearly, responding to them with the empathy and wisdom that define the Stoic path. Incorporating these 15 Stoic lessons into your daily life can transform the way you understand and connect with others. By observing body language, listening deeply, and practicing empathy without judgment, you're able to perceive more than just words. You begin to see the underlying motivations and emotions that drive people. Stoicism teaches us that true understanding requires presence, reflection, and a commitment to seeing others as they are, not as we wish them to be. By cultivating inner stillness and focusing on actions over words, you align yourself with Stoic principles that foster a deeper, more meaningful connection with the people around you. These lessons aren't just tools for reading others, they're pathways to self-growth. As you apply these practices, you'll find that your own responses become more compassionate, patient, and wise. The Stoics believed that understanding human nature leads to a more harmonious life, both internally and in relationships. By adopting these Stoic insights, you're not only enriching your connections with others, but also nurturing a calm, steady mind that can navigate life's complexities with clarity and purpose. Thank you for joining us on this journey through Stoicism. If you found these insights helpful, remember to like this video to support our content. Don't forget to subscribe to Stoic Mastery for more valuable lessons on Stoicism, self-improvement, and timeless wisdom. We'd love to hear your thoughts, so leave a comment below. Which lesson resonated with you the most? How will you incorporate Stoic principles into your interactions? By subscribing, you'll stay updated on our latest videos, helping you continue your path toward a Stoic and fulfilled life. Until next time, remember, approach each day with a Stoic mind, live with intention, and seek understanding in all you do. Stay mindful, stay connected, and stay Stoic.